Insurance company allowance for doubtful accounts had an adjusted credit balance of $31,000. The accountant for Toro has prepared a schedule for December 31st. Accounts receivable by age and on the basis of past experience has estimated the percentage of the receivables in each age category that will become uncollectible. So calculate the amount that should appear in the December 31st, 2017 balance sheet as the allowance for doubtful accounts, and prepare the journal entry to record the bad debt expense. So let's start by setting up our chart. So what do we get for 1.25% multiplied by 1.5 million? $27.50?
18750.
2% of 708,000. Sorry. 14,160. 6.5% of 152,000. 9,880. 32.75% of 98,000.
32095. 32095.
And 68% multiplied by 24,000.
16320.
What do we get when we add them all up? Sorry?
91205.
So calculate the amount that should appear on the December 31st balance sheet as the allowance for doubtful accounts. Is this the allowance for doubtful accounts that will appear on the balance sheet? No? Who thinks it is? This is the allowance for doubtful accounts that will appear on the balance sheet. Right? This is our final balance of our allowance for doubtful accounts. So this will be the amount that appears in the balance sheet. So that is done. What type of account is an allowance for doubtful account? Contra asset, yeah. Good. It's not an expense. So, prepare the journal entry to record the bad debt expense for 2017. So we need to determine how much to expense. Is this how much we're gonna expense?
No.
No. So to know how much we are going to expense, we need to know how much to credit our allowance for doubtful accounts. So allowance for doubtful accounts. Our balance will be 91,205. This we know, right? Let's go back and take a look and see what they say. It has an allowance for an adjusted credit balance. So you have to be careful, right? Because it can tell you that it's a debit balance. It won't always be a credit balance. But in this case, it is. So what do we need to do to make this 31,000 credit balance become a 91,205 credit balance? Yeah, we're going to credit 60,205.
Yes.
And what are we going to debit to offset that? Or bad debt expense. That's right. There we have it. So the analysis component says, in 2018, Toro Company concluded that a customer's $7,500 receivable created in 2017 was uncollectible and the account should be written off. What effect will this action have on Toro's 2018 profit? Explain your answer. So what will this, writing off this customer account have, what will the effect be on profit for this year? What accounts, so when we write it off, what would we journalize?
Allowance to account receivable.
Yeah, we would debit our allowance for doubtful accounts. We would credit our accounts receivable, right? So we're crediting our accounts receivable to bring it to zero. We're writing it off, so we don't want that on our balance sheet anymore. And we're debiting our allowance for doubtful accounts. So are any of those on the income statement? Are either of those accounts on the income statement? Or either of those a revenue or an expense account? They're not. So, has no effect on profit. The only time your profit is affected is in the adjusting entry at the end of the year. That's the only time we will update, increase, or change our income statement.